Hello and Merry Christmas.
Happy Hanukkah.
Yeah, and or whatever your seasonal greeting is.
Yeah, sorry, you just missed the solstice.
That was yesterday, wasn't it?
It was.
Which is irrelevant to this.
Does that count
doing
as someone
things
being burnt in a bear suit like the summer one?
No, don't think we have to do that.
Okay.
I like the next
year.
summer.
Next year. That was fun.
Anyway, in one of those crazy little sort of end of the year roundup-y things, we've dragged in some of the bunker dwellers, and this year was a strange thing because these bunker dwellers, you know, hardened veterans as they are, have once again been spending money with Evil Empire.
We have.
Yeah.
Lots of money.
Yeah, and to be fair, I think Justin Doherty put it best. He said it's like returning to an abusive relationship.
100% it is, yeah.
But it still feels good at the moment.
You're in a happy place.
I'm in a happy place.
Honeymoon
Any
period.
form of relationship for me is an improvement. So, yeah, I mean, abusive, yeah, that's fine.
People have a relationship with their friendly local storekeeper.
They do. And to be fair, most of us have not been paying money directly to the Evil Empire. We have been supporting our local.
I think we really have to stop calling them the Evil Empire because it kind of sounds like the axis of evil. and you know,
Okay. If you want to cut that, we haven't actually mentioned their name yet, so you can
no,
pretend like it's
we'll just let
somebody
it run. But moving on to another topic,
Okay.
you guys have been playing a lot of Games Workshop.
We have been playing a lot
Yes.
of Games Workshop. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Yes.
Yeah.
Started with Kill Team.
It did. Yeah, Kill Team got a little bit of a stop that. Kill Team got a little bit of a boost towards the end of last year, but then
Yes.
we kind of got into it. We found if you can show a little bit of restraint, and relatively we have shown a little bit of restraint, you can play Kill Team for a small amount of money, and it's worth stop that.
Restraint,
Yeah.
that would mean not buying like literally all the train sets.
I didn't buy all of
You
that.
bought
I
lots.
bought one.
And hold on.
I bought one.
I believe I'm using a Firebase from 1994 as my main one.
I even bought some. I'm going to hold
Yeah,
my hands
you
up.
did.
I bought some.
It is very pretty though.
Yes, and I've got to say, I liked first start Kill Team. Didn't like the bits that started getting.
Yeah,
added onto it.
you're in Kill Team like I'm in Memoir. I like Memoir just to play base.
Yeah.
I don't want anything else.
Yeah.
Whereas that's what you like in
I
Kill
like
Team.
the planes
Yeah.
and everything
Yeah.
else. But then you all went Age of Sigmar.
Yes.
Yes, and
That
it
was
was-
Brett.
Yeah, that was Brett. But it was Warcry did that.
It was-
Strangely,
They talked about Warcry and we thought that's going to be more time. And that's going to be like Kill Team.
we thought it was going to be more time. We thought it was going to be Kill Team. We thought it was going to be the old realm of chaos. Build your war bands
The
thing.
big thing about that is it could have been small like Kill Team with the new Age of Sigmar miniatures, which are gorgeous.
They are
That
pretty.
was
They are
the
so
big
pretty.
draw. Is that the new releases for Age of Sigmar is gorgeous. They don't release ugly
really
things
nice.
most of the time. So any faction you look at, they're top line beautiful models. Like.
So who's gone in deepest? Who's the
Brett
worst?
has gone in
Brett.
deepest.
Not Torrens?
No, Brett's on to Army number 3.
Right.
Yes.
Don't tell LJ.
Yes.
Too late now. You've committed.
Yeah, Brett's into Army number 3.
But there was like up in the club anyway with Age of Sigmar when it first came out, there was a lot of people didn't really get it. I think was the problem because the rules were so far removed from what we knew, which was the old fantasy world.
That is true, yeah. I think for a lot of people that was like, we've changed the world.
Yeah.
What are these Sigmarines?
Yeah,
You know, I'm out, done.
So-
and considering what had happened with fantasy beforehand, which very much built up to having a huge buy-in in terms of money in order to field the units that you needed to be effective. I think that put a lot of people off.
a lot of people also grew up with that world and they killed it. But there's no point going over that again because there's been a million videos about that.
It's the weird thing, though. The weird thing that struck me out of all this about the death of Oldhammer was the fact it got completely reborn with Cubicle 7 because this year's seen Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay,
Yeah,
boom! And the amount of stuff that Cubicle
well, you could say
7
the same
brought
for Kings
out.
of War. Kings
Well,
of War
yeah.
second edition came out at the perfect time and boomed massively. They're now on a third edition that we haven't got yet, which is a plan for next year.
Yeah, it's just weird that in terms of their IP,
Yeah,
the Old World is alive and doing really
yeah.
well.
Within
so, like,
5 years it's coming back. to Games Workshop. It was on their community a few weeks ago.
That's true.
Football's coming home.
Yeah. But
Well,
yeah, I think Brett put it the best, is that you read a bit of the lore and you've just got to realise it's pants on head mad,
yeah.
is what Age of Sigmar is.
Yeah, I mean-
like, I play orcs, right? I've always played orcs and everything, and orcs have usually been mid-tier, kind of odd, kind of stupidity and infighting, animosity and stuff.
Yeah.
Then you read the lore and you realise they killed the old world, and everything that survived in Age of Sigmar now, before Age of Sigmar, there was the Age of Chaos when everything was dead or being killed by chaos, and if you survive that, you are the hardest mofo going. And so when I got the Iron Jaws, I bought them with the minis without the rulebook, and found out that the Games Workshop have just turned it on its head and went, let's make the orcs like I don't know, the hardest beasts going. So they're all SAS orcs now. That's what they've done, and it's very strange to play with.
They're just incredible. The
Yeah.
orcs.
But you can say the same for nearly every army.
Yeah.
Everything is stupidly overpowered.
Yeah.
But
Everything is crazy. Everything is silly. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know how you would even try to go about getting a properly balanced game out of it, but that's what kind of we like.
The joy of it. I got
That's
brilliantly, 3 weeks ago, I got completely tabled.
By one model.
By one model.
In one turn.
But like, I've built armies back in the day when I was really into 40k and stuff that were beardy and built for table and other armies. Just
Yeah.
that type of part for tournament game type of thing. And and I've had it done to me, and you feel crap afterwards. You've been tabled by some army that you've got no chance against. Yeah. But because everything's turned up to 11 in Age of Sigmar, and everyone's got WAS that can just murder things in one shot, essentially, you don't feel like you've been tabled. I sat back after, I was like, that's the most cinematic thing I have seen in a tabletop game in a long time.
Yeah. It was great, but I think the good thing about it is we've taken that exact same model out 2 other times, and it's been fairly ineffective. Yeah. It just happened to work that time. I mean,
it's a bloodthirster, by the way, with a huge axe.
It's funny though what you're saying, because obviously I sort of on the side and let you Games Workshop boys do your thing. But what has been really nice is there's been tittering and laughter and kind of coming from the games again.
It's so much wild.
Nobody seems to be losing the head. There's no table flip, and it is just.
I nearly did when we first got into it, because I hadn't twigged on that it is turned up to 11. There was a point very early on. I had the models and I had painted them and I was enjoying the models, but the game just wasn't clicking with me. And then it did when I realised, hold on, everything's just nonsense. It is just,
it's just utter
everything down to the terrain. Like you put buildings and trees out back in the day, and they're just trees. But no, trees now can make you have better magic, make you scared, make you run away, make you you can get villainous terrain and stuff. It's just wow, everything's mental.
Everything's exciting. Yeah. It's funny because you have the books lying about, and I've taken the odd opportunity to sort of flick through them. You know where you always had the little bit of side stories and stuff, and everything connected, everything made sense because it was like a logical world. Now it's just random nonsense. It's like, here's a little city that does stuff, but nobody knows how it manages to endure because it's in a vacuum.
It's the Ghostbusters. Cats and dogs living together, like high elves and dark elves living together. It's going upside down, but you're allowed to do that now. And if you can get your head around that and get over that hurdle of forgetting what happened in the past. This is Age of Sigmar. This is your new.
You're not happy.
Yeah, and you go, all right, okay, I can get on with it.
It's got just enough left of what you used to love.
Yeah.
Usually in terms of lore and in terms of models and things, that you're not forced to go, oh, everything that I already own needs to be binned, and I've got to go and get entirely new stuff. I have an old Dark Elf army which has been sitting in a box for a long time, and they're getting to come out and play again. It's not a big one.
With dwarfs.
On the same side.
Again, just forget what you already know.
Step 1, put your pants on your head. Step 2, step 3.
Water pants.
Step 3, fun.
Okay,
don't play it. It works because we play it for fun.
Yes.
It works because we're not into competing with it, and we're not into trying to actually achieve a balanced game.
Yep.
We just put the things on the table, and you put whatever you want on the table. There's no, the army list does not matter.
Yeah.
You can have, your army is entirely made of bloodthirsters if you've got a lot of money and you've no restraint.
Yeah.
I do not have a lot of money and I have a small amount of restraint, so I only have one bloodthirster. But
baby bloodthirsters.
There are plans. We're saying no more, but there are plans.
But you can put whatever you want on the table, and that's your force. and everything is so crazy that it doesn't matter that one person has got 4 more crushers and everybody else is just playing line infantry.
Yeah.
It's all mental.
I'm tabling a forest next
Yeah.
time then.
Well, he's going to do that.
I've got to table an evil forest.
Do that.
Yeah.
You get the Sylvaneth, the Sylvaneth, and Sylvaneth come with free trees. So you put your trees on your table anywhere you want on the table, and then you get a wee witch, a branch witch, I think she's called. She stands in the trees, and every turn in her wee magic phase, a hero phase, she rolls 2d6, and on a 7, 10 tree people turn up and go out and fight. Every turn, just for the crack. Just why not?
It is not.
It is absolutely bonkers in some ways. But again,
it's lots of fun.
There is, I mean, you can manipulate the army books, I don't know what they're called now, they're basically army books. Tomes, battle tomes. I mean, you can play it tournament, I suppose, but we play it to 1,000 points on the small tables, not quite 4x6, they're 3x4ish,
or something like that.
And we're having the best crack because it's so randomised as well.
Yeah. It's completely mental.
It's none of this. You set up your army on one side and the other person sets on the other side. You can't do that. And if you do that, then we've done it a couple of times. You roll d6 for sudden deaths, for a twist, for a ruse. So all of a sudden it's all mad. Or you do
everything's got a little bit of something to it. So you've added you've added choice of scenarios.
Yeah.
You've got you can do the kind of spearhead games where you split your army into 3 groups and they come on at different times in different places. And it's not always the same one at the same time. All the terrain does stupid things, sometimes which is good for you, sometimes which is bad for you. And it's so random, it's so unpredictable. I mean,
I'm kind of surprised that you coping with that.
I'm alright with that.
Yeah, I'm just saying, surprised with that.
I'm not Michael. Sorry, Michael.
No, but you're not exactly Mr. Chaos either.
Excuse me. Have a chaos.
I rest my case, Your Honour.
No, it's fun, and that is the point. It's random, and it's played for the enjoyment. It works
as much.
That's why it works for us.
As much as there is randomness in it, you can we still do a little bit of.
Oh, you can still plan. It's not just I'll throw a load of dice in the air, count up who had the most, and that person wins. You still get to do things,
but there's so many factors affecting what you're doing.
Yeah,
it's reinvigorated me for workshop.
Yeah, it's lovely to see you animated so much.
Yeah.
You know, because you have been more. You have been much more active and alive this year than last, because you were kind of sedate and doing your wee quiet stuff.
Well, Kill Teams kind of died off a little bit in the last half of the year because of Age of Sigmar, but then they've brought this out, which is the annual, which kind of is
show the people
the annual, which is full of stats and figures and such. Literally, but it's just full. Like, I mean, I think it's that much of the book is just all new scenarios. No, that's not even all of it. It's full of scenarios. They're letting you build your own WAS for the crack. Sisters are in it, which everybody loves.
Sisters are doing it for themselves.
And that's kind of a compendium. It's kind of made me think about maybe doing a Kill Team tournament in the new year or something.
You were already talking about doing a Necromunda thing in the new
year? Yeah, getting my Necromunda back, but that's old Necromunda, it's not new Necromunda. That's a Necromunda from 1995.
Yes, but this is from the guy who was playing Mana War the other night.
Yes, well, that's another one.
This is he who's still painting Battlefleet Gothic.
Yeah. Nobody's innocent here.
We're all guilty of
something. Well, Kill Team for me is very different from Age of Sigmar, because Age of Sigmar's new. I got rid of all my old fantasy stuff years ago. Where Kill Team lets me do the old armies that I could do back in the day. So like I've got a Tzeentch rubric army now, well, Kill Team, and I've got 10 of them and an Exalted Champion, and that's it. That's as much as 40k I need to do.
You can have a little selection.
I'll say this for Kill Team and for Age of Sigmar as well. It's small scale enough that it's not dominating our entire gaming. We're not having to focus all our time on it. We're still getting the board games in. We're getting to try the new games that Andrew's bringing in. We're getting to do our kind of our role playing, both the serious stuff and the unserious stuff. So that's one of the nicer things about it. Is small scale enough.
And just actually painting stuff.
Yeah,
that's true.
Well, Kill Team's big for me that way, because I grew up doing Ultramarines, Imperial Guard, and Orcs, massive armies. Where now I have like 7 or 8 different Kill Teams, and it's like maybe thinking going Eldor next, just with crack.
But each one's like 15 models.
That's
It's
it.
working.
Not
Not
60.
workshop. It's working.
Well,
This-
well done. We take
yes.
our hat off to you. You've got our money back.
Yeah,
Well done.
let-
You're gonna have to buy a hat. So okay, you're gonna do
Where's my
Necromunda
hat?
campaign thing. New Year, old school Necromunda.
Yeah,
what,
well-
what about you?
That's the campaign we've been running for 3 years.
Gets
4
rolled up
years.
every so often.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to a bunch of things. I will probably join in the tournaments that you run.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the new 4 Against Ragnarok, which our casual member, Regular Wars Nick, is making. So he made 4 Against the Titans, which is
Yes.
a spin-off of 4 Against the Darkness. And then the new one coming out is 4 Against Ragnarok, so it's Norse-ish mythology based, and a slight different change to that. I'm also looking forward to taking possession of the first Kickstarter I've ever backed, which is the Great Wall, which just finished there.
Ooh.
So yes, it's somebody, I can't remember if it was you or Simon flagged it on the post.
I claim no responsibility for these things.
So is you
I'm
then.
just a messenger.
They're
Yeah.
Polish based, aren't they? They're the
Yeah,
same ones
well,
that
Wicked
do
Realms.
Grail.
Yeah.
And Grail's very good.
So we've seen a couple of their things. Nemesis, which has been played here a bit, and people really
Yeah.
liked it. Tainted Grail, they played it. So it looks like they've got a good pedigree, and it's kind of ancient and medieval and mythological China, which appeals to me. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Keeping on with the D&D campaign, which we've been playing, and we really want to podcast Brett Paranoia.
Yes, that needs to happen.
Really
We will
want to
do this thing. Brett, there's nobody else runs Paranoia like him.
Yeah,
No.
Brett
It's-
Paranoia, best
In
Paranoia.
fact, I think you just put Brett in a room with a microphone and just let him go. You don't even
Probably
need
could.
players.
That's true. Yeah.
Players might just be an inconvenience to him.
I think a plan for the next year for the club as well that I would like to do is kind of do some battle reports and stuff, and let people see what we're doing. Plus some of the painted stuff that the guys are putting out's great. Like your Bloodthirster's incredible looking. Like
I'm not going to dignify that.
I
with a
knew
response.
you were going to say
Yeah.
that.
it is, and your Harlequins as well. And
Gotta
Brett's
finish that.
Brett needs to finish that Great Unclean one because it's
Yeah,
looking
it's great.
His
It's
Nurgle stuff is fantastic.
Yeah.
And Robert's Blackstone Fortress.
Yeah, that's
Blackstone
him
Force.
next year. He's going to
Yeah.
get a set.
I want that from
Well, he's
myself.
just done all that with the contrast paints,
Yeah.
which are like nonsense as far as I can see, and from what I've looked at, they are nonsense. But he's used them right. and got
Contrast is a
something decent
handy
out of it.
tool I use. I
Yes,
don't
it's a tool,
go
not a solution.
straight up with contrast, but every orc you see that I've painted for the Age of Sigmar army, all their flesh is contrast.
Guys,
it's
don't have to
quick.
send a picture of it to me so we can actually. There's an example of there's his orc
Yeah, well.
for in that space.
But
or that space.
yeah, I think so. Maybe get some battle reports going to go. The fact that say Age of Sigmar at 1,000-point games are between 45 minutes and an hour long. Most
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
time.
we're getting them done and finished. Again, another doesn't take up an awful lot of your
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
The kill team's exactly the same.
I would
Yeah.
stick you in a dark room with a light and a recorder and get you doing that.
So I think that could work for the channel and for the group. Like
Yeah, I've got to get a few more of the games that I've bought and not yet played out. We still need to play Fire on the Lake, which has been sitting on the shelf.
grimness. the
Chris
grimness.
has got Churchill, which we
Churchill.
need to play.
Yeah.
And speaking of grimness, I've got that other one.
What other
This,
ones?
this War of
Struggle.
Mine.
Oh, Jesus, no! I played the video game of that. that was
Oh
enough
no,
for
I've
me.
played that. That's grimdark.
Yeah.
That's like grimdark on an hour level.
Yeah,
That's
but
like
yeah.
I'm feeling really miserable. What can I do to cheer myself up? Not play this.
No,
How many people will you allow to die tonight?
Yeah.
How many people do you have to allow to die tonight?
It's not
And
even
other
that,
worse
it's-
things.
The one that I remember from the video game, go, you steal off them old people, and then your guy just can't deal with the fact that he did it
Yeah,
and tops himself.
it's all
He's
in
like,
there. I've
"This
played
is
that portion
wonderful."
with I think Michael, and it was not a pleasant experience.
No.
No reflection on Michael. The game was just depressing.
It was
Yeah.
his fault.
Yeah.
He kept telling me about it and going,
Not
"Oh."
good. Not
And
good.
unfortunately, the
Wow, what
the
a
opposite of
cheery
intended
note.
reaction.
You know, this has brought the tone down, and I'm going to throw
We're
these
going to
two
play.
out.
We're going to play
pick
the
somebody
Time Unseen
else.
as well, and we're going to play various other
Too
more
late
fun
now.
games.
Ruined.
Fine.
I'll be honest
Fine.
with you,
Leaving. Yeah.
Go on.
One other thing I am interested in is Age of Sigmar in regards to next year to see where they take it next, because yeah, they've still got the Seraphon to do, which is the old lizard men, and
Come back.
just see what other nonsense they could add to it, because it's just mental.
Well, judging by the sound of what you said, they've just opened the floodgates. They can do what they like.
Yeah,
Pretty
much.
Let's bring Space Marines in. Oh, they did.
Kind of, yeah.
Space Marines without guns.
Well,
Right,
They were
you have
big
said
guns.
enough. Let's go and get duller
Get-
people who talk
get-
about board games and stuff.
no problem.
Get the Chris's in.
Get the Chris's in, because
It's been fun.
Yeah. Say bye-bye to everybody. Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Say bye-bye. And by the power of like Grayskull or something, suddenly Andrew and JB become Chris and Chris, or as I like to call them, Chris and Chris. So, as we chatted to the other guys, the year that's been, the year that's coming, and Merry Christmas. You have to say Merry Christmas to everybody as well, because this is kind of a Christmas video.
Yeah. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Or season's greetings, or whatever you like. Anyway,
Bah humbug.
you guys, the year that has been, what's been the highlights for you games wise? We'll start with this, Chris.
Well, hello.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Well, the big one was we've been playing Betrayal for quite a few years now. I've got to say that the box components have done quite well, because I think we're on 72 games.
That's not bad going.
I haven't lost much of it. I really haven't lost much of it. I think it was only the one night the side decided, I don't know what the hell he was doing, flipping his character and then scattered all the pieces, and I went, really?
Never find that missing clip.
Never found the one clip, but thankfully they give you enough to sort of cover it all. But the joy was, Secret Santa was very good to me and got me Betrayal Legacy. And I've only read what I should be reading.
Ooh.
Because it's all boxes and bits like any Legacy. It's sort of, don't open here, don't look at this, turn this round, don't look at here, don't fart when you're standing up, all that sort of stuff happening in one box.
This is the first legacy for you, isn't it?
This is the first Legacy. I was always put off with the Legacies off. Once you've played them, you've played them. But I've read the reviews and bits on then sort of Betrayal, that you customise your own Betrayal. So once you've played it with your campaign buddies, people can jump in as well. So you have your 5 characters, and you can say, oh, we'll only play with the 4. A 5th can jump in at any point. There's no, this is it.
Yep.
But it doesn't seem much about jumping out. It's just sort of coming in, bringing someone else in. There's no problems.
You're my player now.
Now you're all in here. But the joy of that is then it's yours. It's your baby at the end of it. And the amount of games, I say 72 games we've played from the original box. And then DLC didn't enjoy too much at all. It's just the new Trader Tomb wasn't really well thought out. Because you read a lot of them, and there's one we did give up on, and sort of it was, no, this doesn't work. We'll be a trader somewhere else.
Don't like it, make it
There
go
was
away.
far too much of it, and sort of it just looked like they weren't play tested.
You haven't even used the online stuff. You've talked about it
I
all.
haven't even. Well, it's now pushed us to sort of push for the online stuff, because after them buying the add-ons, I sort of went, this isn't for us.
Yeah.
But this Legacy is going to be doing it. This Legacy is unbelievable. It brings in elements of our favourite. It brings in elements of then Arabian Nights.
Oh,
Arabian
yeah.
Nights is just...
Arabian Nights is good but bad at the same time.
It's everything a game should be and everything a game shouldn't be.
You have to role play it. You have to see the worst of the situation you're in. You know, you're in jail, and
I
there's
think we've seen pretty bad situations.
there's
in
things
Arabian
happening
Nights.
in that jail. You know, and there's things that.
What happens in Arabian Nights stays in Arabian Nights.
It's not a family board game.
No, and that's a video for another evening. You know, and say I think we'd actually put a warning sort of beforehand for what's actually
Yeah.
happening. To
If
you
you
on this
think you
adventure.
may fall out with your friends, do not play Arabian Nights.
It's funny, we ended the last segment with the guys talking about this war about, which is like a real,
Yeah.
wow, that's really cheery. And we've immediately leapt into the 18 plus section of Arabian Nights. Arabian Nights can be a bit naughty. There's bad things happen to you in prison, like what might actually happen to you in prison.
Well, you're getting your hair braided by the prison guard, you know, and no questions are asked. But you're getting out of jail later on,
The prison board lets you go after you braid his hair.
you know, and sort of
Take from that what you will.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, your Betrayal has been like a mainstay, and there was a long time where it was like, well, we're playing Betrayal, and I mean, it inspired me
Just
to pick
the
up the
box.
Betrayal at Baldur's Gate,
Yeah.
and I only picked it up because it's quite different from Betrayal, but it's still
I
good.
give
fun.
them
I
that.
enjoy it.
Yeah.
I don't think you enjoy it as much.
No, there's not as much randomness as there is then in Baldur's Gate seems to be more locked down, whilst Betrayal is sort of
Baldur's Gate's a bit more Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go adventuring.
Whilst then Betrayal is just flux
Yeah,
with more things.
and let's kill each other.
Because you just don't know. Well, you don't even know that because you just do the old, you roam for the hunt and, no one's the traitor.
No.
And that's okay. And then you go, actually, you can brain each other now.
So 2019, 2020 is quite easy for you. 2019, Betrayal's awesome. 2020, I've got Betrayal Legacy. I'm fine for a year. See yous, guys.
And then to add in the whole element of now Arabian Nights, because there seems to be a additional book. There is a journal, which can open as well, but it seems to be then there's now things going to be happening. As you'll have your narrative like you had in then sort of Arabian Nights. Of course, probably more PG than sort of how we've been playing Arabian Nights.
Yes.
I'm not saying. Then there's stickers and there's scribbles and everything, so we could
He's
turn this
got
into
this
whatever
element.
monster we could.
We can only hope they never do a Greek version of the game.
Buy him a box of crayons. Just sitting in the corner going mad, drawing pictures.
But I can't wait for that. You just keep, even the wee rulebook. The rulebook is you're talking this now, and then say you're going through the rulebook one, and it even states this is not what you've been playing. Is a totally different sort of creature, and then they go ooh, and the rules are forever changing because there's gaps in the rulebook. And it says you will be. It doesn't tell you again. It doesn't tell you when you're adding these things. It says you're going to be adding things to this rulebook.
Puts me in mind of the Harry Potter Hogwarts battle, which is kind of a little bit like that. You're playing the base game, and then each year you get to unlock a new box. But the first couple of boxes is kind of simple, and then suddenly it's like, there's new components here. What's all this about? Oh no, they've changed everything. How does this work? And it just keeps going and adding and adding and adding, and it's a nightmare to reset it.
And actually, a box that works for it, which is quite nice.
That's always a bonus.
Because the box opens and below so they're not giving anything away, below the main tile deck, which says not to stack or anything, you're popping out some of the components. It actually has some of the components sort of unwrapped, so you know which bits you're
so it kind of comes to you in order.
So it's coming in order, but when you move those main tiles over to the side, you'll see then there's wee pockets for those. But when you put the tiles back on top, it sits flush. So those pockets now have your components. Gone are the days of my mini tidy boxes I've got. We're going, what do you need?
I'm off to be
One of those.
Grip seal bag 2XB. There you go. Grip seal bag 2XC. There you go.
Well, speaking of people who like going and buying things, some of us were in Essen this year.
Yes, we were.
and are you? Well, you can't tell because there's nobody to tell you off. How much did you spend?
50p. Fine.
I nicked everything.
But
More than a little and slightly less than an awful lot.
probably about €550.
And yet he came back with no games, which none of us can understand.
Well, no, I did.
The ladies of the night aren't part of then the gaming experience.
No comment.
Wise decision. No, but you did buy some nice thing.
Yes, I've been a cyberpunk kick of late. So I got there's a game, new miniatures game. I showed you the miniatures, the Hydrophilia, which is sort of this.
Mean to didn't it?
Yeah, but it was one of the miniatures with all the little cyberpunk dudes. The yes.
Yeah, okay.
So that was from Artel W Miniatures, which is like a Polish guy that does very fancy.
You can send me a link and
miniatures.
I'll put like writing on the bottom of the screen.
Anyway, yeah,
I
so
don't have to think about
so
stuff like
that was a little skirmish war game for cyberpunk, and it was classic 1990s sort of Akira-esque cyberpunk.
And you just bought another one as well. Because you showed me one tonight too.
Yes, that was
Osprey
that's the rule book. You see, that's a rule book for a different cyberpunk game.
Okay.
Well, the new cyberpunk game now. This has civilians and things and fun stuff you can do with weird people getting in the way.
And how many games of cyberpunk-esqueness have you played so far? No, fair enough. So 2020 is going to be cyberpunk.
Okay, I did a lot of buying last year. Now I have to do a lot of building and painting.
Okay, so 2019, I've spent all my money. 2020, I'm going to excise some value out of my money.
Yes, that is the plan.
And then
Fair enough.
Easter comes along and you start again. You go, oh, a piece of candy. Oh, a piece of candy. And all that other stuff sits to the side.
Kickstarters.
Yeah, well, actually, a lot of them have arrived recently.
Look, if it makes you feel any better, I'm kind of in the same boat because just as I've reached the end of having gathered all of the Memoir 44 in creation, I managed to acquire the Richard Borg Red Alert Admiral
Yes,
Pledge
it's fantastic.
at half of what it should have cost.
We saw that when it was being demoed in Essen, and it was amazing. It was really, really nice.
Got all the space.
Yeah, they were demoing it, and we just wanted to walk off with it. It was lovely.
Yeah, and now don't get me wrong. I have a lot of respect, as you know, for Richard Borg and his game, but there was no way of spending that money.
No, that was the only thing. Is it's like, this is great, and then when I found out it was like it's how
great,
much?
but no, I need to eat for the next 3 months.
But yes, it was lovely.
Well, now we'll get to find out, because that'll be the start of my 2020. That and Doctor Who role playing, because in the space of several days I have acquired the entire Cubicle 7 collection.
Oh yes.
Actually, we should look at that in more detail as well. It worked out really well. I needed a bookcase for my Doctor Who DVDs.
Right,
and Graham Hawkins was giving a bookcase away.
Yeah.
So I went, oh look, there's a gap. If only I had some Doctor Who role playing books. And Graham went, well, here's some. And I went, wow, thanks. Oh look, I've just found these on eBay. Now I've got them up.
Well, look, I've got toast for them up.
I don't need to eat. I'm on
As does family of mine. Hi, family. We're all having toast.
I'm on a food-free diet.
What are you having with for toast? Toast.
Toast and water for dipping.
I have made you something special. Toast on toast. And then
No, not 2 slices of toast. It's not tea time. It's only breakfast.
Yeah, you only do double deckers at tea time.
I'm just dipping it into anything runnier than toast.
Still got running water. We're not paying for that yet.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all
Well,
good.
if you use hot water, or tepid water.
We're digressing into strange things. I'm going to cast these two into the ether once more and see if, just for the last couple of seconds, we can grab Wee Si, because Wee Si has probably spent more money than the three of us will see in the rest of our lives in 2020. No, he didn't. He got bargains. He bought tons of games, got them for like €5 and things.
Well, he did, yeah.
Let's not talk to Simon.
Sadly does that hoarding thing where, yes, he has these things, but they're never seen.
I've got to touch a couple of them.
Zombicide just keeps coming out, and he keeps going, look, Zombicide. I went, yes, you've been showing this for.
The fact he is out now playing my version of Zombicide, that he is.
Well, there you go.
With a puzzled look on his face.
The version he didn't buy is the one he's playing. To be fair, he has a garage that's literally filled with Zombicide.
Yes.
Yeah, but see, that's the only one thing he brings up. All the other Kickstarters are just a mystery.
But you know what he was on last week? Or the week before? He was on the new Zombicide Kickstarter.
There you go.
He doesn't even... His boxes are still sealed.
But he's still... It's the same base game plus then the next bit.
Yeah. I'm convinced, I'm nearly sure there's still a box in his garage that still has the sellotape around it.
Well, he came in with an inception
Most of his
boxes the other
games
day.
are still cellophane wrapped.
Yeah.
So, folks, if you need any games,
Yes, I got the Conan stuff off him, although my base set is fully painted and has been played multiple times.
Did you not get the Conan stuff off him that he got off me?
Yes.
That I got off Tim Snoddy?
Something along those routes. It was...
It's like a family.
It sort of travelled around. People went, I want this, and they went, actually, I don't need this, and then eventually came to me, and it stayed with me.
It's a shame, because it's actually quite a good game. It's just, I don't have that much shelf. And he has no shelves.
Well, I like it because I'm more into sword and sorcery than fantasy, because I kind of class it differently. Because there's not elves and dwarves. Sword and sorcery is more about barbarians and wizards.
Okay.
Yeah. Usually evil wizards.
Okay.
Yes. It's different.
Right. Stop talking. Go away, you two. I'm going to go and see if I can find Simon for you for the last couple of seconds. But you'll not notice
him away from Zombicide.
It'll not be hard, because he'll probably find a rule he can't read.
And then you go, what did
No, he's queried me about 3 already.
Class, and you haven't even read it. Stay right there, we'll be gone.
Oh, I need that. Thank you. What, you stressed out? All these interviews that you've been doing,
I
huh?
haven't been interviewing, it's just
gossiping?
been me and the lads.
Gassing?
Chilling, just like us.
Oh, I know. It's like...
No, you have the season's greetings. Everybody else has it because it's the seasonal video.
Okay, seasonal greetings to everyone, Allegedly it's the season to be jolly.
Didn't say anything about being jolly. I mean, why change the habits of a lifetime? Or is that your 2020 resolution?
No, my 2020 resolution is to be grumpier.
Grumpier?
Yeah, I want to be like Bob.
There's no way you're going to aspire to Bob's level of grump.
No, that's true.
It would require too much effort.
And sometimes I actually do think he goes overboard with the effort.
So, look, I mean, the idea that this video has just been, it's been like a wee end of year roundup and a wee sort of preamble about next year's aspirations from the guys. The downside for you is everyone else has talked about your Essen bargains already. They've talked about your Zombicide collection. They've talked about you playing Space Zombicide. I don't really know what you've got left to talk about, unless you've got highlights of 2019 in the gaming side that we've missed.
But the truth of the matter is, I just thought I'd sit here. Doesn't mean I have to actually talk. That's normally what you do. I just grunt.
Well, no. In fact, there's still 2 videos as yet to go up where you do quite a bit of the talking.
God, I must have been on something that night.
You were in a good mood.
Caffeine.
I think it was pre-cup of coffee. In fact, I think we made the coffee and never actually got drinking them.
Cold coffee. Not a good thing.
So anyway, 2019, Si, what's been the win for you?
Well, I'm disappointed that everyone else has had an opportunity to talk about my 2019.
It's because their lives are so hollow and empty, they had nothing else to talk about but you.
Well, the truth of the matter is, 2019 from a gaming perspective was what a year. So many aspirations hit. Second year in a row that I was able to get to UK Games Expo. It was brilliant to actually have yourself over there as well. You know, it's hard to explain to people what it's like unless they have experienced something similar.
Yeah.
You know, in Northern Ireland, we don't have anything to that level. Even when we went down south, the closest we've came to that kind of thing is Dublin. And even then, it's a different kettle of fish.
It's a totally different beast. I mean, anyone watching this in the States or watching this in England, you've no idea how lucky you have it, because we are that little bit of a backwater in Ireland in terms of lots of events.
Yes.
Lots of well-supported, modest events.
But yeah, but it's very small scale, you know.
UK Games Expo, it's like going to your favourite gaming shop, and it just keeps going, and the more you walk, the more toys there are, and the more you walk, the more toys there are, and the more and people playing games, and it's like all the conventions rolled into one ish.
Totally. Was very pleased with myself in the fact that this year I came back with nothing. Couple of really important reasons why, because I pretty much, as you said yourself, have a lot of things already. And there was nothing that really triggered that. I wouldn't mind that. There was 1 or 2 Kickstarters that were floating about, and again, it was a appreciation to the demo and then guys were doing. While I'm at it, I might as well do a shout out to Warlord. You know, the guys there are brilliant, you know, always up for a bit of crack, you know, and seeing them there.
Battlefront sorting you out with the Doctor Who stuff for me.
Without a shadow of a doubt, best guys off the lot have to be Battlefront. They've always been nice to ourselves, and, you know, very quick to show us what the latest thing is and tell us what's coming down the line. Mm-hmm. There was, who else was there? Devious? Devious
was there. Chris, it was nice getting chatting to Chris, because obviously we'd done the wee interview with him at London Toy Fair, which was nice just to touch base with him, and all the wee traders like A1 Toys and this is where I forget all.
Yeah, but we'll talk about A1 Toys, right? Whoa, what a selection of stuff that they had. Their biggest thing there was their discounted Fantasy Flight.
Yeah,
Rune Wars, I think it was Rune Wars. That, I think the weirdest thing is, I'm not too sure if that's a discontinued Fantasy Flight game or what happened there. Some of the other guys are more knowledgeable than me, but the long shot of it was something like 70%, 75% discount on this.
You were minted at that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, it wasn't something that I touched because, you know, the idea of buying something, and it's hilarious. I've only seen Roger and Bob actually bring it out to play, though everyone says how good it is.
Yeah.
You know,
Sidekick Games as well, the guys that we got Escape Plan. I suppose Escape Plan, in some respects, was the highlight for me.
I thought it was your one from Mind Games. You know, the one they interviewed, or is that the wrong person?
I don't even know who Mind Games are.
Oh no, this was one of the ones that was linked with Rory, Red Knight.
So that's the great thing about Simon. He remembers snapshots of things, but it's like one of those in detective boards in a TV show. It's pictures with little bits of string that tie on to everything, but they don't actually necessarily go anywhere that makes any sense whatsoever. No, Psychic Games that were just up from Red Knight had the big Escape Plan game.
Yes, I know. Yes, yes.
That was my win. That and Parks. Has to be Parks as well.
Again, that was two of them are Kickstarters. You didn't Kickstart them yourself.
No.
They were stuff that you were able to get after the Kickstarter.
Dived in after the fact. Like yourself, UK Games Expo. It's weird. I did enjoy it, and it was good fun. I don't know if I would go back again.
The problem there is, right, okay, I've been twice. The first year, blown away, right? The setup that them guys has is something to be envious of. They obviously have a plan. That plan is what, 5, 6, 7 years in the making. The last couple of years have been the biggest years for them because once they exploded away from the hotel, Hilton Hotel there, and we're able to take on the what do you call them? The sections,
exhibition halls.
Exhibition halls. Their big plan is to try and have something the UK equivalent of Essen.
I'm just here to throw in the odd word that you need.
Yeah. Every third word I need somebody to help me with, of course, and that brings me on to this. What I think was the biggest thing for me in gaming of 2019, and that was getting my first opportunity to go to Essen.
Fortunately, Chris stole your thunder and told us all about that.
But again, that's only because Chris is just jealous of the fact of,
He was in awe of you and your bargain hunting.
Well, you know what it is. It doesn't hurt to blab.
No, you chatted to people and you came back with nice toys.
Yeah. Again, other people have talked about them. How much did I spend? Probably about 150 quid. Which, again, compared to some people there, that was nothing. The biggest thing, discounted wise, in Essen had to be the Fantasy Flight X-Wing miniatures game.
Yeah, people were just buying that by the bucket full.
That was interesting in fact. 75% for the first couple of days. The very last day, it was 50% discount on the last amount. So you're talking about 25% of the price. 12.5% is what you were paying.
Yeah. People are apparently just buying the boxes and just stripping the miniatures out and just dumping components and all, and just walking away with bags full.
The other part of it was the fact the way they set up is they've got different. The Germans are very big into their bulk discount, and it's like to have a full. Not rooms again. What do you call them?
I don't know. Let's call them rooms.
Well.
Call it a room.
No, it's not a room. It's more massive than that.
Hall.
Even if you call it a hall, it's so massive. And there is where they have their discount, and that's where I got my best bargains from. Some games for about €10 just being sold off. Average was about 15 or so, 15, 20, and I'm very pleased with what I got.
Yeah, some of the stuff you got was fantastic looking.
I won't say what one I was disappointed with, but it was an impulse buy. It was about 50 odd euros, and it was in its own way a Kickstarter.
Didn't measure up though.
No, unfortunately, things are getting tougher. There's so many companies out there. There's so many people with inspirational ideas with the mechanics of Kickstarter, and fair play to them, they're going there, but because there's so many out there, there's a lot of them that just fall from the wayside, and to me, if it wasn't for Kickstarter, they'd never be made, and this happens to be one of them.
Well, he said inspirational ideas, and we're going to end on the note of inspirational ideas because it is the season of inspiration. It is Christmas time. And the point of this was just a quick wrap up from ourselves for the year to thank yous for sticking with us. The new YouTube channel, we're still building it. New ideas for next year as well.
Yeah, I agree. I'd like to thank all of maybe 5 or 6 people that actually get a chance to watch your videos.
My mum,
Chris's mum. You know?
Yeah, Justin's mum.
Yeah, I think it's
Justin's wee lad.
Yeah, family and friends, I think.
And the guy in Singapore, because we see the analytics. But no, seriously, thank you very much. We will keep trying to add to it. We're starting to get a wee bit more interaction with you lovely people out there too. And just take an opportunity over the holidays to recharge yourselves, take a rest.
Oh, and I think we actually recharge ourselves because, again, the point is, what is in store for 2020? It's a reflection to me, yes, with regards to 2019, and I'm pleased with the way things went with regards to 2019 and gaming, but it's a clean slate again, 2020. I have no idea what's involved. There's nothing that I have organised or planned for. Hopefully we'll get back to Dublin in 2020 for the comic convention down there.
Comic-Con.
Did you actually get a chance to talk about that?
Yeah, we're up to like 40 minutes, dude. It was a summary, it wasn't like a biography.
Oh, well, you know what, maybe we should have...
This is why we left him to the end, because, you know...
Well, maybe we should have done it as a biography.
Anyway, enough from us for now. Thanking you. No fireside chat this time. We just thought we'd throw in some of the guys from the bunker. We wanted to say our thank you, which we've done.
Yeah, pretty much.
And we'll see you in 2020 with some new stuff, some new ideas, battle reports and whatnot that we've talked about already earlier on. So, thank you very much indeed.
Bye, guys.